Hi everybody, welcome to What's in the Box. Today we are having a look at the Soulbound Starter Set for Age of Sigmar role-playing. So basically, if you like your Warhammer Age of Sigmar and you want to explore the world a little bit deeper, doing some role-playing is a great way to actually, just dig in and find out a little bit more about the world. This starter set is basically going to give you some beginning adventures to get you and your friends up and running in the game. Now, there is a main rulebook that you can go out and grab whenever you're ready to dive into the rest of the world, but this is basically your jump-off point. Now, I like the guys at Crucible 7. They do Wrath and Glory, which is a fantastic role-playing game, and hopefully this one's going to be just as good. Right, let's dig in. So first things first, of course, we get the box. Lovely artwork on the front. And if we flip over, you'll see on the back, we've got a little bit of a rundown of everything you're getting in here and just a little bit of flavor before you actually, take it home and buy it. It's for 14 plus, takes 1 to 4 hours to play, and 2 to 7 people can play. Right, let's open this up and see what we're getting. Now, first things first, we've got some custom dice. The entire system runs off at D6s, and the D6s have a nice little custom symbol on them. So we'll pop those out the way for now. We also get a token sheet, and one thing I do like, the tokens are really, really well cut. The punch on them is really good, so these will just fall straight out. So you've got your different tokens for different characters, I assume. Then we come to read this first. I like it whenever the packaging does this. It basically means you can't dig in and start reading something you're not meant to. So prepare to begin your perilous adventures in the mortal realms. And so when this opens up, it's giving us a basic rundown of everything that's in the box, and if you've never roleplayed before, it gives you some of the key terms and things that you're going to need to know. One of the other things I like about this is whenever you flip it over, you've actually got your party sheet on here, so tracking everything your party has been up to, so long-term goals, short-term goals, who your allies and enemies are, if you have any fears, what resources you're gathering, who the members are, and what your party name is. We then start coming into our character sheets. Now, there are some pre-generated characters in this, so you don't have to worry about character generation to begin with, although it is something that can be really, really fun to do. So this is our first one, Vel Arturius. Now, if we flip around to the back, we can see she is a female Stormcast Eternal, so she's a knight quester. And then when we open this up, this again is going to give us all of the information about her. So what her body, her mind, her soul are, what sort of skills she has, what talent she has, basically what gear she's running with, any notes, combat abilities that you can trigger. I mean, I'm sure the game itself is quite simple to play. I think it works off a DN, which is basically you'll have what you need to roll and how many of that you need to roll as basically determining success or failure. And sometimes if you succeed and then some, your DM can actually give you a little bit of extra information. Our next character, Malga Dainson. So we've got one of the Cadron overlords in here. And again, we've got all of his stuff to actually play him. So attributes and skills, we've got some talents, initiative, his metal, his armor, his toughness, his wounds, things like that. And also, you've got connections and secrets on this side, which can be really, really fun. Just if you want to learn to roleplay a little better, it gives you little story hooks that you can dig into. Our next one is a Tidecaster. So I'm guessing this is going to be our mage analog for the group, because everybody needs a mage, and thankfully, water mage, not a fire mage, so, no healing people with fire, it has happened in a couple of, sessions that I've played through. Age 80 years old, pronoun she, her, species, elf, Idoneth Deepkin. You've got some distinguishing features. So basically, again, it's giving you everything you want just to actually get the feel and the flavor. One of the biggest problems I had when Age of Sigmar first came out was I had no jump off point into the story, and if you've been looking for that, this might be a great way for you to jump in. So we've got one of our Sylvaneth here, so our ranger analog, so basically rocking around with sword and bow and arrow. And again, on the inside, we have all of the information you're gonna need. Our next one, looks like a human priest of some sort. So I'm guessing perhaps this is going to be like our cleric, our healer. He's a war priest, so possibly not, because he's rocking a massive hammer. Going through it, I'm sure there's probably going to be a healer in the group. But again, you've got all of your different skills and stuff. All right, now this is where if you're not going to be DMing, you might want to look away from this particular bit, because the Faltering Light book is that initial adventure that you're going to be running through. And it's got some nice stuff in here. So you've got the background on the city of Brightspear, where the game is going to be taking place. And as we work through, we can see, you know, visiting the Lord Arcanum, you've got some of your narrative in here. And as you work through, you've got the different things that could happen. So if you're rolling to maybe see, are you seeing misty passages? Are you seeing change of elevations? So there's a lot of stuff you can do in this game narratively to make it fun. And if you're a new DM, this does give you a lot of help, because basically what you're going to do is you're going to play through this before doing anything else. So this book, you will play it as you read it. Obviously, if you're a DM, give it a little bit of a read beforehand, but it does give you just a good grounding and a good lead through on how to actually play the game. Now, the next thing that comes up is the Brightspear City Guide. Now, this is important because this is basically giving you a ton of additional information about the city of Brightspear. So, are there Tzeentchian cults in here? Are there enemies you want to fight? And as you work through, I did notice, yeah, so you've got some of these things. So you've got some additional minions and monsters and things. So a red cap thug, say you wanted your party members to go and maybe visit a tavern. There's a couple of red cap thugs in there and they're going to start to fight. So you've got all of the stats in here that you need to actually just create monsters and begin to create some new stories of your own. You know, you could put them up against some grots. Maybe there's one in a traveling circus that has escaped. You know, he's hiding in the tavern's basement and you have to go kill it. On the back, we've got a map of Brightspear to show you some key interesting locations that people can visit and what the districts are. Next down, we've got a little bit of advertising in here. And I will do this because it'll just make it easier for me to grab stuff. So a little bit of advertising, totally fine with that. And yeah, that's your main rulebook that you are eventually going to want to grab. We've also got a main map on a nice piece of cardboard, so you can actually place yourself within this particular realm. And on the opposite side, again, we have that nice city map. So again, that's a nice little handout that you can just pass out to your players to say, okay, so you guys can maybe start tracking where you are within the city and where you're trying to head. These are important as well. So you've got reference sheets that are just going to make the rules a little easier. So we've got our spell reference sheet if you're trying to cast stuff, and we've got more on the back, just more information. Rules reference. I love cheat sheets like this because it makes it really handy, because you can just quickly grab this page and just start reading through it instead of having to go chasing through books. Same for the combat reference. And then on the back here, on the inside, I like whenever companies do this, they actually do little additional bits on the inside of the box. And I'm guessing your DM might use this as a rough screen. So they'll set this up in front of themselves to hide their dice rolls. There's one thing I have not shown you yet, and that is bringing back in the lid of the box. Now, I say I love it whenever they do additional stuff on the inside of boxes. What they've done here, they've given your DM a quick reference board that can just be set up in front of them. So if I was the DM for this, I would have this setting up, and I would have this setting up. And there I have a really simple DM screen that I can just start playing with. So that is the basics of what's coming in the box. I do want to get sat down with some of the folks from the team and play through this, because Age of Sigmar is a world that I really have wanted to dive in deeper to, and this might be the perfect way for me to do it. I'll tell you what, drop your comments in below. What was your way for diving into the Age of Sigmar universe? Is this something that interests you, actually getting to roleplay within the universe? I'll move on, and I'll see you again soon.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.